Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shakayla. I create and share delicious plant-based recipes and inspiration. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. So in this week's video, it's a what I eat in a week. On Sunday, I actually spent some time meal prepping some ingredients or batch cooking. So right now you just see me roasting up some vegetables. So I have the carrots, some broccoli. Y'all, this broccoli was about to go so bad. So I'm so glad I got to use it, as well as some onions. And I'm just seasoning that up with salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and some dairy-free Parmesan. And I put that in the oven on 380 degrees until it was just tender and like a little crispy. Then now I moved on to some sweet potatoes. So I wanted to prep ahead some cubed sweet potatoes as well as some wedges. Y'all, I swear, cutting up wedges is so hard for me. And I don't know why. I honestly have to look at videos every time I do it to figure out how to do it, and I never get it right. But regardless, it was still good. I just seasoned that, added some olive oil, some salt, black pepper, and some arrowroot flour or starch, and that's just to help the sweet potatoes get crispy in the oven. Then I moved on to some quinoa, which you see the note here. Toast some quinoa, toast it in oil before you start cooking it, and then add veggie broth to it. It makes a world of a difference when you actually get to enjoy it. So while the quinoa was simmering, then I transitioned over to making a lentil stew, or like some stewed lentils. I went to the farmer's market the previous weekend and I picked up some French lentils and I was excited to use them. So that's what I'm doing here. Y'all, these lentils were so delicious. I can't wait to do them again. And also this week I wanted to, like have some salads and sandwiches and wraps and all that. So I just prepped some romaine lettuce, just cut it up. But then I moved on to this sauce. It was kind of like a take on my green goddess dressing, but not really. So I just added some hemp seeds, added avocado, some nutritional yeast, cilantro, dill, garlic cloves, some salt, black pepper, some dairy-free sour cream, and a bit of water. And then I had to go back and add some lime juice, but this was a really, really good sauce, and I'm so glad that I made it. Okay, now that we've finished prepping everything, now we get to actually enjoy the meals or the items that we prepped with full-on meals. But for breakfast, I really wanted a papaya boat, and I just cut up some fruit. I cored a papaya, and I just loaded that bad boy up. I added in some dairy-free yogurt, but I really enjoy making these. Also, for my folks who do not like papaya, not that I'm pushing you to try it again. I'm just saying that having a papaya boat where you put like the yogurt, the fruit, some granola or nuts on top, like it makes it taste even better. So maybe give that a try if you want to, but listen, if you don't like it, it's okay. Because there are certain things that I don't like, and no matter how much a person tells me, oh, but it tastes good this way, like I'm still like, I don't like it. So if that's you, that's okay. But if you are interested in trying papaya, this is a really good way to do it. And also at the farmer's market, we picked up some okra. And so for this okra, I just kept it so simple, y'all. I just seasoned it with salt, black pepper, some smoked paprika, and I added it to the air fryer. And I actually just served that with some of those stewed lentils, some quinoa, and then some pickled onions that I purchased from the farmer's market. Another meal that I had this week were some crispy oyster mushrooms, and I had that along with some of the items that we prepped. When I tell y'all, at this point, I was so annoyed because I had tried to make some type of eggplant dish and it did not go well. So I was like, you know what, let's use these oyster mushrooms and let that be that. So I fried these up. I'll put some details on, well, I air fried them. I'll put some details on how I made it, or like the ingredients and the directions in the description box. But these are just going to be some air fried king oyster mushrooms. I had made a miso dressing. It was pretty decent, but it wasn't anything to include in the video. But I made some miso dressing and I tossed the mushrooms in that, and I had that along with those roasted veggies and quinoa. And for lunch this week, I also bought a large roll or sourdough bread, a large loaf of sourdough bread. And today I wanted to have a sandwich, or this day I wanted to have a sandwich for lunch. So I just prepped some tomatoes, cucumber, and onions, and then I drizzled it with some salt, black pepper, olive oil on the actual sandwich. So remember the green sauce I made, so I included that on my sandwich. And then I didn't record it because I think I made it on Saturday. So before I actually started recording this video, I made a sun-dried tomato pesto. Actually, if you watched my most recent video related to food, I made this pesto for pasta, but I decided to use it for my sandwich this day. When I tell y'all, this sandwich was given Mondo sandwich. Mondo sandwich. Oh, and then the brand of cheese I used was the Field Rothschild creamy slices, and then some deli slices that I picked up from Kroger. These little bites, they're Nutter Butter bites, but they had dates, peanut butter, peanuts, vegan chocolate, some sea salt. Y'all, this was so good. And I'm like, I know I can make this at home. So I'm gonna try it because I was tearing these things up. And I believe I've shared this before, but I enjoy making, so if I'm not making matcha, I'm making mushroom coffee. And so that's what I was having as kind of like a midday pick-me-up, afternoon pick-me-up. So I just had some mushroom coffee, added some water, and yeah, I just served that with some maple syrup and some coffee creamer. On this day, I was really wanting some soup. I feel like it was so gloomy outside, so it was the perfect day. So I just took some of those stewed lentils. I added some veggie broth, some coconut milk, and I added some more tomato achar, which is actually like the one I use is from the brand Brooklyn Deli. And I just had that with some toasted sourdough bread. I drizzled some more coconut milk on top, and that was it. Another meal that I made this week, well, this is a breakfast meal, is a like chia seed pudding. I've really been enjoying chia seed pudding, and I feel like I've kind of mastered the way that I like to make my chia seed pudding. So it's about 2 tablespoons or 2.5 tablespoons of chia seeds, and then around, I want to say I do like 3/4 cups, 3/4 cups. Oh my gosh, of plant milk. Please do not mind me. It is pretty early in the morning for me right now, but I like to add in just frozen fruit, but this day I added in some wild berries as well as some maple syrup, and I let that sit in the fridge for about 2 hours. I have learned that it's best to let the chia seeds soak for a while versus, just waiting 10 to 20 minutes and eating it. It's something about how they're able to digest in the system. Listen, I'll follow up with more information. So yes, I just let that sit for 2 hours, and then now it's time for the daily vitamins. So I just have my daily multivitamin. I have some black seed oil as well as vitamin B complex drops. I want to say I have all this linked in the description box on my health and wellness page, so check that out. But if you don't see it, let me know. So after my workout, I came back and I actually made listen, y'all guessed it, a tofu scramble. I have at least 1 to 3 of these a week, but I actually use that fava bean tofu. I've been enjoying using the fava bean tofu because it actually has more protein than regular tofu, and I went to the organic market that actually sells it, so I like to stock up when I make my way out there. I also wanted to make a kind of like a pre-made batch of my tofu egg seasoning. So I always just put nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika. I add in turmeric as well as some of that black salt, which is culinamic, but it gives dishes an eggy flavor. I like to use it for my tofu scrambles because it does the trick every time, every time, every time. And so inside of my tofu scramble, I just prepped some onions, I got kale and tomatoes, and now we just, work our magic. And so I had the chia seed pudding with a bagel as well as that scramble. It was so good. Listen, if you have never made crispy quinoa, you have to add it to your list of things to make for the week because it was so good. So I just took some of the cooked quinoa that we prepped on Sunday and I drizzled it with some olive oil and I baked it in the oven on 400 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. When I tell y'all I'm doing this going forward, it might be like how often I make my mushroom and walnut meat, like the toasted or the crispy quinoa is going to be right up there because it was so good. So for lunch this day, I was just making a salad. And so with my salad, I had massaged kale, some romaine lettuce. I added some cucumbers, avocado, and cranberries. I want to say dried cranberries. Yeah, that was it. And then that green sauce that we made. Then I also just topped the salad with some chopped pistachios, some tomatoes, and that crispy quinoa. Oh yeah, and I added some vegan cheese. I'll show you which brands I used as well. But this was so delicious, okay? And I picked both of these brands of vegan cheese up at my, like one of my local organic markets. But if you just go to their website, you should be able to see where these are sold near you. Y'all, look at how I tore this salad up. It was so good. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.